Social inclusion due to sexual orientation is one thing the world is still struggling to adopt into the society. Recently, the FINA board voted that swimmers who are transgender are banned from competing in women's events as of Monday. They say that this policy is a new gender inclusion policy that only permits swimmers who transitioned before the age of 12 to compete in women's events. The organization proposed to create a new open competition category for people who associate with any gender to compete. They then backed up this rule by saying that scientists have proven that they have an added advantage to others if they transitioned after puberty, which isn't fair to other swimmers.
We have to protect the rights of all our athletes to compete. But we also have to protect competitive fairness at our events, especially women's competition.
To date, I think it builds upon the discrimination that we're seeing, specifically on trans people
as well.
This is not about hate. This is about trying to find a solution that is fair for all.
The new policy, which takes effect today, only allowing athletes who've transitioned before the age of 12 to take part in any of the elite international swimming competitions.
CAA championship headed up.
The decision will impact Leah Thomas, whose record-breaking season in the women's field set off a firestorm of international controversy. She made history earlier this year as the first transgender athlete to win a Division I NCAA national championship. I spoke with Leah last month in her only television interview.
Trans women competing in women's sports does not threaten women's sports as a whole.
Why?
Because trans women are a very small minority of all athletes, and we haven't seen any massive wave of trans women dominating.
It is discriminatory and will only serve to harm. Included in FINA's new gender inclusion policy, the creation of an open competition category where athletes would be able to compete without regard to their sex, their legal gender, or their gender identity.
Other sports examining their policies, including World Cycling's governing body, who will tighten their rules. It follows trans athlete Emily Bridges' failed attempt to compete in the women's category.
Most people questioned this rule, saying that they are encouraging people to transition at an earlier age. They have received backlash from the transgender community, as this would bar some from competing, as the hormones and surgery for transitioning are administered between the age of 14 to 17. They also stated that not everyone goes through puberty between the age of 12, as it varies in different people. This caused an uproar, as this would cause a shift in sports rules, not only internationally, but also at a local level and even in schools, causing transgender people to feel discriminated. Reporting for MMU TV, I am Ashley Otieno.